Yeah, no trolling. Hey, the Pacers aren't at home. Dummy. It's at OKC, man. Come on, man. Don't be voting in my poll and you don't even know where the game's being played, man. What are you doing? You're skewing the results in that. Five-star dummy. Yeah, first time. But it also, no matter who wins tonight, it'll be the 7th different NBA champion in the last 7 years. So, parity! Virgo! See, Notre Dame's a giant pussy. They don't play a 13th game. So they could go 15-0 win an Natty, but no one else could. Everyone else would have to go 16-0. Better.
For a little savings.
Shut up, lady. Pause that. Don't need to hear that again. How's everybody doing? Is everyone okay? All right, good. Great. Good to see everybody in here. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Indiana Pacers at OKC. All tied up 3 apiece. For the full game, OKC is about a 6.5 or a 7-point favorite. I've got a poll up. Make sure you vote. That's for the first quarter only, I think. Is that the poll we did? Let me see. Yeah, first quarter only. The Thunder are a 3.5-point favorite. The voting is really close. I'll leave the voting open for another minute or two. Then I'll shut it down and I'm going to have to get the bet in. So I'll put a bet on whatever y'all choose. Right now, Pacers plus 3.5 is at 51%. Again, that's for the first quarter only. I like the Thunder minus 3.5 in the first quarter, but I can't vote in my own poll. So, yeah, who wins on a neutral field, FSU or Iran? That question doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I think a better question would be Texas A&M or Iran. Texas A&M is a fake military school. So that would make more sense, Texas A&M or Iran. I would put Iran as about a 7-point favorite over Texas A&M. Yeah. Facts. Big facts, too. Big facts, too. There is a baseball game on, too, the Mets and the Phillies. I have no idea who's going to win that game, but I think I bet on the Mets. I just be betting on shit. What did I bet on? Yeah, I bet on the Mets. Right now, it's no score in the bottom of the third. Yeah. Yep. Oh, we have a special guest in here. I have a special guest joining us in here now. Where is this now? Here we go. Say hello to Burgle. Burgle, say hey to the people, dude. You not gonna say hey to the people? Huh? You just gonna sit there? You gonna do nothing? Wag your tail? Nothing? What are you doing, dude? You're not doing nothing? Okay, Berg. Okay, Burgle. There you go. Burgle Cam. Shout out to the Burgle Cam. Shout out to the Burgle Cam. All right, I'm going to close the poll down. Let's see who wins. End poll. The chat voted for the Pacers plus 3.5. I don't like that bet, but hey. Whatever the chat says, that's what we'll do. So, again, I think y'all are retarded on that one. I'll be honest with you. Y'all might be retarded on that one. All right, we're taking the Pacers in the first quarter. There we go. The bet is in. All right. We got the Pacers first quarter because y'all said so. Don't let me down. Don't let me down, chat. We're still about 10 or 15 minutes away from tip-off, probably. Again, the Mets and the Phillies are on, too. Let's see who's here. Yeah, Slaw is here, okay? Sasquatch, B.A. is here. Biggs Mike, Baylor Man, Anthony Swift, G-Man, RCC1078 is here. Is that your password? No, I wouldn't use your password as your username. Yeah. Badger for Life, Todd Webb. Good morning, sir. Connor Stallions, Greg, Jonathan Aaron, B Puck 33. What's up, buddy? Drew Nelson. Longhorn Garrett, Daniel Owens, Let the Big Dog Eat, otherwise known as Doula. Yep. Yeah. What's up, Brett? Austin Monroe, the Norwegian method. It's a fairly decent method. It's a fairly decent method. Is FSU still in the ACC? Yes, I actually checked. I Googled it. And I asked ChatGPT and Grok right before I came on the air today. And yeah, Florida State is still in the ACC. So there's that. James Cooper, Barry Outdoors, Will Eubanks. Good to see y'all in here. It looks like the Mets just picked off a runner at second base. You don't see that very often. A pickoff at second base, but they got him. Still the bottom of the third, no score, Mets and Phillies. Phillies do have a runner on first still. Who did Lou bet on for the NBA Finals? I didn't bet the Finals. I let the chat choose. And they took the Pacers plus 3.5 for the first quarter. Have you made video about Wisconsin suing Miami? No, I have not. I have not. Miami been in the ACC 20 years and still haven't won it. Yeah. South Carolina has more ACC championships than Miami does. I know that's hard to believe. It's like I tell you all the time. Facts don't care about your feelers. Yeah. Go Sirs. Is that their nickname? OBS 63, Vic 3. Yeah, Vic got absolutely obliterated by OBS on Friday. I haven't seen a beating that bad in quite some time. It was unfortunate to witness that. Oregon is a virgin in terms of winning a national championship. I think that's true, yeah, right? That's probably true. Probably the best program to never win one. Where's Uncle Lou? Did this golfer dad kidnap him? I had to go to a birthday dinner tonight. I just got back about 20, 30 minutes ago. My daughter turned 18 today. So, shout out to Luann. She's 18. Can't believe it. I haven't watched NBA basketball since Feb. Who's Vegas going to have win this one? I'm not sure what you're asking. Oklahoma City is favored, if that's what you're asking. Did you hear the news? Auburn still sucks. I did hear that. I hear that almost every day, actually. Yeah, I hear that almost. I hear that just about every day, actually. One Miami fan told me yesterday they're going to the Big Ten if the ACC folds. A lot of fans, for some reason, think that they get to pick where they go. Will Tennessee fans stop bragging about baseball now that LSU won the title this year? LSU won the baseball title? I don't know. I'll have to take your word for it on that. Of course, nobody cares about college baseball. Woo triggering Gump Man on X. Yeah, that was a pretty good one I pulled there. Trolled the Gump fans without even mentioning their name. And right on cue, they came running to the replies, didn't they? Yeah, they did. They can't help themselves over there. I can confirm LSU won the title. The first playoff game I got to watch was Game 4 of the NBA Finals. I was in boot camp during the playoffs. Army? Well, you picked an interesting time to join the military, bud. Is there any way you can reconsider? Or is it too late now? Oh, Navy? Oh, Navy, you're fine. Navy, you're fine. Yeah, you'll be fine in the Navy. You'll be fine in the Navy. Yeah, Texas Tech is spending crazy money. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They got a billionaire that's writing checks. But the checkbook closed on July 1st now. That's it. After July 1st, that's it. That shit gets shut down on July 1st. My daughter's husband is in the Navy. I'm retired now. I already fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yeah, I mean, I doubt people want to turn this chat into that, but it's not your fault. We were over there, you know. I mean, so. All we got to is send the Mississippi State fans with those damn cowbells. Yeah, just annoy them to death. Yeah, we'll just annoy them to death with the Mississippi State cowbells. It's not a bad idea. It's like psychological warfare, you know. Sometimes you stick people in a dark room and blare like metal music for torture. You can do the same type of thing, but the Mississippi State cowbell. So, if you don't quit with the barking, man, come on now. Hey, nobody even talking to you, man. Yeah, never-ending wars. Never-ending wars. Yeah, you know how government contracts work. If you don't spend all your money, then the next time the contract comes up, you get less money. So unfortunately, the defense contractors constantly need some type of boogeyman that we can waste money fighting so that they can continue to get more and more money. What's the best parlay for tonight? If I was going to do a parlay tonight, I'd take Oklahoma City on the money line and the under. I'm not doing a parlay tonight, but if I was going to do a parlay, I'd take Oklahoma City on the money line and the under. Thank you for the laugh, Lou. Battling prostate cancer, and you've been cheering me up. Well, man, buddy, I sure hope that's one battle I never have to fight, but I hope everything's all right with that. I mean, I don't want you to get all personal in the comment section, but I hope the outlook is positive for you. If we ever go to war, watch how many people from Texas A&M go to the military compared to Navy, etc. Well, 100% of the people at Navy go in the military. 100% of the people at Army go in the military. Nowhere near 100% of the people at Texas A&M go in the military. So I don't know what point you're trying to make. People can go into the military from any school in the country. You don't have to go to any particular. You can go to any school or no school and join the military. No, they're not required to go. You're wrong. There is no requirement for any Texas A&M student to join the military. No, Texas A&M is not the same because Texas A&M is not a military academy. So I don't know if you're retarded or this is your attempt at an elementary troll, but Texas A&M is not a military academy, and no one there is required to join the military. So that's that. National anthem just wrapped up pregame of the basketball game here. Mets and Phillies still scoreless. Top of the fourth now. Mets are up to bat. 1 out, top of the fourth. No score. It's funny how pro basketball has become so irrelevant to me that I had no idea the finals were on. only watch basketball games that I bet on, whether it's college or pro. They should be getting started here in like the next 5 minutes, though. They just wrapped up the national anthem. Players are all warmed up and ready to go. So we should be getting underway here. Indiana at OKC, Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Neither team has won an NBA championship ever. And whoever wins this one, it will be the 7th different team in the last 7 years to win an NBA championship. So for those of you who crave parity, the NBA might be the sport for you. Mets with a 2-out base hit to put runners on first and second. Still no score, though, top of the 4th. I did bet on the Mets in that game, so it wouldn't hurt my feelings one bit if they went ahead and knocked in a couple of runs here. Lou, you should start your commentator career. I started it 11 years ago. Thank you. But I started it 11 years ago, though. Hey, Lou, who do you think will be the Final Four teams in the playoffs this year? I don't do Final Four playoff guesses. I think it's a waste of time because you don't know what the playoff matchups are going to be, who's going to have bye weeks, who's going to have home games versus road games. So trying to guess the Final Four is completely pointless. For example, you don't even know what side of the bracket teams are going to be on. So, for example, last year, everybody and their brother would have said you're probably going to end up with Oregon and Ohio State in the national championship game. Well, it didn't work out that way because they were on the same side in the same half of a bracket, so they played in the second round of the playoffs. So trying to guess the Final Four in a 12-team playoff is completely pointless. It's not like the NFL where you have the AFC and the NFC, and you know the NFC teams are going on this side and the AFC teams are going on this side, so that you can sort of try to whittle it down for a prediction. But in college, where you have no idea who's getting byes or who's getting home games or what side of the bracket which teams are going to be on, it's just a waste of time to do that. Jay Johnson needs to coach Brian Kelly on how to install a good winning culture. Oh, you talking about the video I made from the hospital bed when I was having knee surgery? Yeah, that was an alarming video, to say the least. That was an alarming video. Yeah, I forgot about that one. I forgot about that video. I should probably go back and delete it. There's a lot of videos I should probably go back and delete, but instead, I've never deleted any videos and probably just never will. Yeah. Are you buying the Notre Dame hype? Yes, I am. I mean, as far as what, them being good? Yeah, I think they'll be good. I think they'll probably make the playoffs. Is Coastal the place that gets free food with tickets? I've got no idea. I've got no idea on that. Do you think LSU will make the playoffs in football? I'm on the fence on them. I'm on the fence. I personally no. I have a hard time believing Brian Kelly's going to find a way to get them to 10-2. But everything I look at, everything I read, everybody else that talks about LSU, they're way higher on LSU than I am. So I'm starting to think maybe I'm just wrong, and that LSU is gonna somehow get to 10-2 and make the playoffs. But my instinct says no. That's one of the reasons I haven't done an LSU prediction video yet. I'm still kind of on the fence with them. No one cares about college baseball. Yeah, that's true. The ratings prove that. More people watch women's softball than watch the College World Series. I mean, the reality with college baseball is that the majority of the players are dog shit. That's one of the reasons no one watches it. you can go to the majors right after. It's not like the NFL where you have to go to college. Major League Baseball drafts all the really good players right out of high school. So basically what college is a bunch of players who weren't good enough to get drafted out of high school. And they play with metal bats, which is retarded. Has anyone told them that they're grown? Especially now in the NIL and transfer and never-ending eligibility age that we're in. You got 24 and 25-year-olds out here playing baseball with metal bats. I mean, that shit just don't make no sense. But nobody watches college baseball because no one cares about it. If you don't go, you have to stay until after junior year. Wall Street Journal just wrote an article about how hard they hit in college because of the bats. Yeah, you hit the ball way harder with a metal bat than you do a wooden bat. That's why they don't use metal bats in grown-up baseball. All right, the game is underway. Indiana out to a 2-0 lead. First minute of the game. Indiana on the road at OKC. This is Game 7. Winner wins it all. This is the NBA Finals Game 7. SGA with the ball, step back jumper, drains it. Tied up at 2. First minute of the game. Luke, can you give me 2 dark horse teams for the college football playoff and 2 for the NFL? The NFL, no. I can't. College football, 2 dark horse teams. I mean, different people have different opinions of what that means. I'll try to give you 2 teams that I think could make the playoffs that maybe a lot of people don't mention. Louisville, Georgia Tech, Texas Tech, pretty much anybody in the Big 12. Pretty much anybody in the Big 12 could be a dark horse, really. But I'll go with Texas Tech as a dark horse. Big 10. You know nobody's picking Michigan to make the playoffs. What if Bryce Underwood is really good from the get-go? Our best pitcher on my high school team played to retirement in Major League Baseball. SMU flying under the radar. Well, I wouldn't consider SMU a dark horse since they made it last year, and they're like second in the odds in the ACC this year. So it's not that I don't think SMU can make it. I wouldn't put them in a dark horse category. Yeah. 5-2 now. Indiana up over OKC. 9:45 to go in the first quarter. We put a poll up and let the chat make a bet on the first quarter, and the chat took Indiana plus 3.5. So early in the first quarter, the chat looks like a genius with the Pacers up 3. Now up 1. Baseline jumper is good for the Thunder. 5-4, the Pacers on top now, and they have possession. Into the lane, rejected, right at the rim. Wow, get that shit out of here, Woozy. You gotta come harder than that, dud. I don't know what kind of woozy shit that was. Thunder with the ball now, trying to take the lead. Into the lane, now dishes it out to the wing. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Nowhere to go. Passes it. Back into the lane, spin move, turnaround jumper, no good. No, it was good. Sorry, I thought it bounced out, but it bounced in. 6-5, OKC with a 1-point lead. Now just under 9 to go. SMU still has PTSD from the Penn State game. Yeah, I don't know what happened to that quarterback in that game. He acted like he'd never seen a football before. And he was a good quarterback all year long too, but he just completely fell apart in that game. What did he have? 4 interceptions in the first half or something like that? It was over quick because of those turnovers. The Mets ended up not scoring in the top of the fourth, so the Phillies went ahead and scored in the bottom of the fourth. So the Phillies are up 1-0 over the Mets, which of course is no good. I'm an idiot, and I took the Mets to win.
1-0. Phillies up over the Mets in the bottom of the fourth. We need the Mets to come back and win that one. Everyone have that same kid in Little League that had straight heat, like 80 plus with zero control. I don't know about 80 plus in Little League. Maybe. Thunder off the glass and good. 11-8. Indiana up over OKC. 3-point lead for the Pacers, and they've got the ball. 7.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Top of the key. Jumper. No good off the back of the iron. Rebounded by the Thunder. Thunder with the ball down 3. I like how this is game 7 of the finals and quiet in there. I don't have the volume on when I stream, so I don't know anything about that. Oklahoma defense looks like Oklahoma defense when Riley was there, which is weird because OKC has the best defense in the league for the last several years, and this year too. Flop count 1. Yeah, the only sport where they flop more than basketball is college football. But we love college football, though. Flopping in college football is an epidemic. With the fake injuries non-stop to slow the offense down. Lou, you mean soccer? No, I mean college football. Lou, if OKC wins, can Kentucky claim this as a championship? That doesn't even make any sense. No. You know those are in 2 different states, right? 11-10, 1-point game. Pacers on top with the ball for 3. No good off the front of the rim, but Indiana grabs the rebound. Back out for another 3. That one he drains. The chat is looking like a genius right now. 14-10, a 4-point lead for the Pacers. Timeout on the floor with 6:58 to go in the first. Lagway best QB in the SEC. Yeah, we know. And Florida's going 100-0 and winning 2 championships this year. 3 Heismans, a Nobel Peace Prize, an Emmy Award, 2 Grammys, and a People's Choice. Were you all not taught to flop when you played basketball? Kentucky has a shit ton of players in the NBA. Commercial on both the basketball game and the baseball game right now. Lou, what's your second favorite sport? I don't really have a second favorite sport. There is no other sport really besides college football that I can watch just for entertainment. Any other sport, I almost have to be betting on it. I guess it would be the NFL. I guess it would be the NFL, maybe international soccer. When I say international soccer, I mean country versus country. I don't like club soccer. I couldn't give a shit less about team soccer. I don't even know who plays for what team or these different leagues. I don't give a fuck. But I do like country versus country soccer. Taylor Swift won plenty of Grammys, not much of an achievement. Yeah, I guess being the most popular artist in the world and having the highest grossing concert tour of all time and breaking records every time you put a song out, none of that is an achievement. If Taylor Swift doesn't have any musical achievements, then no one in the history of music has any musical achievements. Hating Taylor Swift because I don't even know why you voted for Trump or whatever political reason you have to hate some singer is fucking weird. And you need to get your head out of the political gutter. It's like all these people running around now talking about how they hate Bruce Springsteen and they never liked his music and he was never any good and he was always overrated. So full of shit, man. So full of shit.
You can make some money off bets with Mexicans on soccer. What do you mean, betting Mexican people? Kid Rock is the best musician. He was good in the late 2000s. I liked all the stuff when he first came out. I still listen to like with American Badass and what was the first one he had? Ba with Ba and all that. I don't know what I don't know what he's done in the last 20 years, but the stuff he was putting out in the late 90s and early 2000s was good. The Mexicans love betting soccer. Yeah, Rebel Without a Cause, or yeah, that was no. I was making a joke with how political he is now. Oh, Kid Rock? Yeah, I don't care what his politics are. Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen has been singing anti-government songs since the 70s. But ever since Trump got elected, now all of a sudden people have a problem with Bruce Springsteen. They're like, when did he become so anti-government? What do you think Born in the USA is about? Born in the USA is not a love song to the United States. You might want to go back and re-listen to it. And yeah, Rage Against the Machine is another one. World War III coming soon. Yeah, it's Jesus is coming back soon, and World War III is coming soon. I know. I got unfollowed by a bunch of people earlier on Instagram for posting a meme of Trump's face morphing into George Bush. Will the USA conquer Iran? No, they don't have the ability to do that. I mean, we couldn't even defeat the Taliban, dude. We're not fucking with Iran. I mean, yeah, we'll go over there and drop bombs on them after Israel takes out all their anti-defenses because there's nothing they can do, but we're not sending troops into Iran. We can't beat them. Yes, there's no trolling. No trolling will be tolerated, period. And I mean that too. I know I say that a lot and I'm just kidding around, but I actually mean it this time. OKC drains a 3 to take the lead. 16-14, 5:40 to go in the first quarter. The Thunder up 2, Pacers with the ball. How's that not a foul? Oh, they did call it a foul. Okay. Indiana will be shooting 2 here. They're down 2, so a chance for the Pacers to tie it up. Lou, who's your pick for B? Who's my pick for B? Arthur. I'm going to go with Arthur. Who's my pick for B? I'm going to go with Arthur. B. Arthur. Yeah. I'm going to go with B. Arthur. What's up, Lou? You and the lady on at the same time. Yeah, the lady's doing her Sunday night show. Let's, you know what? Why don't we go over there and say hi to the lady? Hold on. Let me see. Can I see how to do this here? Contrary, remember like I told you the other day, contrary to popular belief, I do know what I'm doing, and I do know who I'm messing with. Yeah. Here you go. Y'all click this link right here and go tell the lady good morning. She's doing her Sunday night show over there, the Bad Bitch Fuel show. Y'all want to troll them? Y'all want to troll the ladies show? Should we troll the ladies show? Or would that just be wrong?
Iran doesn't even have a conference title appearance. Yeah, Halliburton is hurt. That is not good for the Pacers. He's been playing injured, and it looks like his knee just gave out on him there. Yeah. He's had a hurt knee, right? You can see the padding there. It looks like it just gave out on him right there. You see? You can see it snap back. Yeah, he's probably done. He's been trying to play through it since it's the finals, but I don't. After what I just saw there, I don't know if they're going to be able to get him back out on the floor. Iran got that dog in him, we would get skull dragged. The Phillies have exploded in the bottom of the fourth inning for 5 runs. 5-0, they're up on the Mets. So doesn't look like we're going to be winning that bet. What if Iran sacks Tel Aviv? What? How would that affect me? It wouldn't affect me. Phillies still at bat. Bottom of the fourth. They've scored 5 runs already this inning. Runner on first and second. Pop up out of play and caught for out number 3. So the Mets finally get out of the inning, but not before the Phillies score 5. 5-0. Phillies up over the Mets. Headed to the 5th inning. Commercial on both the games again. Should I make another cup of coffee? I had 1 cup of coffee before this stream started. Should I have another cup of coffee? And just fucking get zooted. Should I get zooted off some coffee or what? Who has Israel played? Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, Turkey, but that was a long time ago. It's a pretty good list. Some would say they've been playing the United States for 50 years. Some would say that. Some would say that. Like literally playing them. Like you got played. That type of deal. Are we down bad? Who's we? What's up, Lou? Put 2K on the Pacers to win the series. Big payday. It hits tonight. Well, bad news for you with that Halliburton injury there, bud. You didn't want to see that in the first quarter. They've looked good so far, but Halliburton's done. I mean, look, he's not coming back from that. So, they were already fighting an uphill battle on the road. I hope they win it for you, for your sake, but back here in the land of reality, man, I don't know if they can do it without Halliburton. Pacers with the ball into the lane, off the glass, and good. And a foul, it looks like. So a chance for a 3-point play, which would give them a 1-point lead. It's tied up at 18, headed to the free throw line to shoot one. Nice dad bod. I've been working on mine myself. Hey Lou, I hear Tennessee is going to beat Georgia this year. That's what Tennessee fans told me. Well, yeah, they say that every June and July, and they say that every June, July, and August. Some Septembers they say it. 2 Octobers they have said it, but they've never said it in November, December, or January, because it ends up not happening. yeah. Missed the free throw. Oklahoma City grabs the rebound. All tied at 18, just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. The chat did put a bet in. Air ball from Oklahoma City along the baseline, rebounded by Indiana. The chat we did do a vote at the top of the show, and the chat voted as far as the first quarter, Indiana plus 3.5. So we did put a bet in on Indiana plus 3.5. So I'm hoping the Pacers can keep it close for the next 3.5 minutes. OKC misses a 3-pointer, but they get the rebound. Come on, Pacers, play some damn defense. Into the lane. Fade away. Good. 2-point lead for the Thunder. A Miami fan thinks Wisconsin is a trash-ass city. You mean they don't even know it's a state? Oh, boy. OKC drains a 2. They're now up 4, 22-18. Pacers with the ball, 2:40 to go. We've got the Pacers plus 3.5 in the first quarter. From the top of the key, drains it. Back to a 2-point game. OKC with the ball and a 2-point lead. Georgia is scared of Oklahoma as usual. What? OKC with the ball. Jump shot. No good off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Indiana. Chance to tie it up or take the lead with a 3. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. We've got the Pacers plus 3.5. They're down 2. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Tried to pass it all the way across court. Not a good idea. Pass intercepted. Turnover. Pacers. OKC has the ball with 1:30 to go in the first quarter and a 2-point lead. Come on, Pacers. You got to play some damn defense here. Into the lane. Kicks it back out. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Long 2-pointer. Off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Indiana. Timeout on the floor with 1:18 to go. Did you hear LSU won the college baseball series today? They were talking about it in the chat earlier. Israel ain't played nobody, Woo. Who have det played? We just rattled off the list a few minutes ago. Hezbollah, Hamas, Turkey, but that was a while ago. Iran, and that's who they've played like in terms of military conflicts. Some would say they've been playing the United States for 50 years, like psychologically, like like the whole "you got played" thing, like that. Some would say that. Not saying I'm saying that, but some would say that. Who's making the Middle Eastern Conference title? It's hard not to go with Saudi Arabia and what's the other one where like 90% of the population is millionaires? What's the other one? Saudi Arabia and what's the what? No, not Jordan. Is it the UAE? Qatar? Japan's not in the Middle East, but Japan's not in the Middle East. I mean, Saudi Arabia, I don't know what the deal is with that. I mean, it was 11 Saudi Arabians that brought down the World Trade Center, and we didn't do shit to them. Nothing. We invaded Iraq for no reason and lost a 20-year war to the Taliban because 11 Saudi Arabians blew up the World Trade Center. And we knew by the end of the day that it was 11 Saudi Arabians that did it. And we didn't drop the first bomb there. Saudi Arabia basically owns the United States. Halliburton's coming back? I'd be shocked if he comes back. I see him out on the floor, but they had to carry him to the locker room. What'd they do? One of those... What the fuck did they do to him in the locker? They must have done one of those fucking Mr. Miyagi things from the first Karate Kid if he's thinking about coming back out. They had to carry his ass off the court. Oklahoma City's up 2 and shooting a free throw with 1.3 seconds to go. Free throw is good. 3-point game. The chat is going to hit their bet. There it is. The chat had the Pacers plus 3.5, and they're only down 3. So shout out to the chat. You hit your bet. Which means we can make another one. All right, let's see what the line is for the first half, the rest of the first half. Thunder minus 5.5 or Pacers plus 5.5. I'll do a quick poll. Quick poll, but it's got to be real quick. You got like one or 2 minutes to vote, and then I'm going to have to close the poll so I can get the bet in. Hunt Dog, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, Lou, do you think North Korea is a dark horse contender for the national championship? I'm going to say no on that. Yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and say no on that. Half the time they try to test a rocket, it plops into the ocean for no reason, like 20 seconds later. North Korea is like kind of like Billy Napier. It seems like they might not know what they're doing. Seems like they might not know what they're doing there in North Korea. All right, I'm going to close the poll down. In poll. All right, OKC minus 5.5 is what y'all like. All right, bet accepted. We've got Oklahoma City to be winning by more than 5.5 at halftime. Northrop Grumman is winning the Middle East wars. Yeah, Blackwater, Northrop Grumman, all the defense contractors. All the defense contractors. Who do you think is the worst Power 4 team is currently? Purdue, Mississippi State, Stanford, The worst. Like next season, who will be the worst? Well, I mean, you named a lot of bad teams there. Purdue's a possibility. Mississippi State, Vandy, Stanford is a good one. Houston, West Virginia. Yeah, those are some good ones. No, not Auburn. Auburn won't be the worst. Auburn won't be the worst. All right, second quarter underway. We have a 3-point game. The Pacers drain a 3 to start the second quarter, and we're all tied up now at 25 apiece. The entire Big 12. Big 12's got some good teams. Lou, who do you think the unluckiest college football team is? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't really think there's all that much luck involved over the long run. Luck, whether good or bad, only affects things in the short run, not in the long run. Did you paint the wall black? No, I came in here one day and it was just like that. I don't know what happened. Last year, SC definitely. Southern Cal? Southern Cal wasn't one of the worst teams in the country last year. Did you see they've made Brett Bielema action figures? No. I didn't see Brett Bielema action figures. What fucking action can that fat fuck do? Ray Football. Love your videos, Lou. You inspired me to do YouTube, and I wish I could super chat, but I can't. Oh, don't ever apologize for not super chatting, but I appreciate you watching the channel. Good luck with yours, and I appreciate you watching the channel, man. I'm glad I could provide you some inspiration, but don't ever apologize for not sending a super chat. I mean, obviously, I appreciate those of you that do. That's one of the things that keeps these live shows going is the super chats, but don't ever apologize for not being able to send a super chat, buddy. Jackpot, you need to get one of those action figures. There's a lot of videos that could be done with a Brett Bielema action figure. I just hit 50 subscribers, Lou. Yeah, well, you know what? Don't even pay attention to that for 2 years. Don't pay attention to the views, the subscribers, none of that. Just keep putting out videos every day or every other day or whatever your schedule is. Don't even pay attention to all that because it's really, really hard in the beginning unless you just get lucky and, strike gold and for whatever reason you upload 2 videos and 1 million people watch it. But generally speaking, the YouTube game is a grind. Most people who have made it on YouTube, it didn't happen overnight. There are some people who sort of got lucky that way, but the overwhelming majority of people who do YouTube full time or YouTube for a living are people who just grind it out, and there's no shortcuts really. Nebraska is like Germany in the 20th century. They were the big bad. Now they ain't shit. I hit 500 followers on Twitter and they're all bots. Twitter is probably the absolute worst representation of what the human race has to offer. The inherent anonymity that comes along with most people's Twitter has turned Twitter into one of it's just disgusting what people will say on Twitter, hiding behind a veil of anonymity. It's a real shame. TCU, I wouldn't pick TCU, but that's the point. You're picking underdogs. So I don't think it's a terrible underdog pick. Boy, the Mets are dog shit, man. They can't even score one fucking run. They're still losing 5-0 in the top of the fifth for no goddamn reason. Indiana's up 1 with 10 minutes to go in the first half. Lou looks like he's getting ready for the new Happy Gilmore. Now, I had to go to a birthday dinner tonight, so I just got home about 20 minutes before we started the stream. Lou, you know the Rockies only won 17 games. Yeah, I do know that. I bet against them every day. Well, 3 or 4 times a week at least. They're the worst team in the league. OKC up 1, and they just turned the ball over. So Pacers with the ball and a chance to retake the lead. 9:20 to go in the first half. 29-28. Pacers down 1 with the ball. I don't think Halliburton ever came back in. Did he? That's Siakam with the ball there, ain't it? Fadeaway jumper, no good. Rebounded by OKC. OKC into the lane, no good. But it looks like a foul on Indiana. All right, Army man, good to see you in here, buddy. Yeah, Vandy's not going to be any good. Vandy wasn't any good last year, so Vandy had a miracle win against Alabama, and it was a great story. And Diego Poverty ended up being a good quarterback. Vandy's not a good team. They weren't a good team last year. They won't be a good team this year. They'll be lucky to win 5 games. I wish my uncle was still alive. He was a White Sox fan and could have told me every business piece of information about why Colorado sucks so bad. The White Sox suck too. The White Sox and the Rockies are 2 of the worst teams in the league. OKC up 2. Indiana with the ball. 8:40 to go. 30-28 is the score. Halliburton, I think, is still out with the knee injury. Or I'm assuming a knee injury. That's what it looked like. Into the lane for Indiana. No good, but a foul. And Indiana will be shooting free throws. Halliburton ruled out. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It didn't look good. He had to carry his ass off the floor. He was already hurt to begin with and tried to play through it. Detroit is in their golden age of sports. I know the Lions are good in the NFL. The Tigers are good in baseball. Are the Pistons any good? Lou, I'm hoping Georgia won't have problems at safety. Pistons are getting better. Pistons are solid. Pistons have gotten better. Well, I think it was 2 years ago the Pistons were the worst team in the league. This year, I'm not so sure. Pistons made the playoffs. Wasn't it last year they were the worst team in the league, or 2 years ago? Flop count 2. Only 2 flops so far? Wow. If this was a football game, we'd be at about 5 or 6 by now. If this was a college football game. 2 is not bad at all. Pistons made the playoffs. Georgia equals Iran. I don't even know what that means.
Going to be like a 9-month recovery. Just awful for Halliburton. Yeah. This year, it's the Hawks. The Hawks were the worst team in the league this year? Dang.
Turns out they're down bad, huh? OKC up 3, and Indiana just turned the ball over. And OKC has the ball back with 8 minutes to go and a 3-point lead. For a 3, no good. Indiana with the rebound, 32-29.
Iran tried to develop a West Coast offense. Unfortunately for them, Trump threw down to Tampa 2, and now they're down big at half.
Well, we think they're down big. We don't know. Do we know for sure? Uh-oh. Indiana drained a 3, and we're tied up at 32.
Who is a better coach all time, Kirby or Urban Meyer?
I'd probably go with Urban Meyer. But Urban Meyer's not out of reach in other words, by the time Kirby hangs it up, it's very possible he surpasses Urban Meyer on the all-time list to me. I don't think he'll ever pass Saban or Bear Bryant or somebody other like all-time legends, but I think he could pass Urban Meyer if Kirby could if he continues at the pace he's on now.
I saw a picture of a B-2 boomer flying over, and the caption was, "The Middle East is about to find out why there's no free health care in the USA." Yeah.
I don't have a pick to win the Heisman, no. I mean, I like the same people everybody else likes. Jeremiah Smith, Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, Jeremiah Love, if you want a running back. Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame.
Lanning could, but he's got recruiting problems at Oregon. Do you think Josh Heupel will win an SEC title while he's at Tennessee?
Fuck it. No. No, I don't. Still 5-0. The Phillies up over the Mets.
Who's the better player all time, Rudy or Forrest Gump?
I'm probably going to go with Forrest Gump there.
Nuss is going to continue the trend of second-year LSQBs winning the Heisman.
There is no trend of second-year LSU QBs winning the Heisman. Hasn't it happened twice in 100 years?
That's not a trend. Lou, let me tell you, Jared Curtis will do good things for you, Jay. Take it from a Tennessee native. I enjoy watching Haynes King. A&M should have kept him.
They probably would have kept him if he could throw the ball. Unfortunately, Haynes King is like Riley Leonard in a Georgia Tech helmet. You know, he just can't throw the ball, really. But he is fun to watch, though.
Lawson Lucky reminds you of Brock Bowers?
No. No. Stop it.
Jared Curtis could be better than Bennett. I guess should I wait till halftime and get another cup of coffee? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with the coffee thing. I don't want to wait and it gets too late. And then I can't have, and if it gets too late, then I can't have no coffee. I don't know what I'm going to do. Game's back on. 2-point lead for OKC. They're shooting for 3. Drains it. Now a 5-point lead for the Thunder. We have a bet on the Thunder minus 5.5 in the first half, so we need the Thunder to keep their foot on the gas here. Indiana with the ball down 5. If you tuned in late, Halliburton is out for the game with an injury. That's going to be a foul on OKC, and Indiana will be shooting 2 free throws. Lou, when was the best era for college football? Oh, shit. I don't know. I liked the 4-team playoff era. I've liked every era. Well, every era that I've watched. I don't know if I have a favorite. I prefer having some kind of a playoff versus not having a playoff at all, but I don't know if that makes this era the best era of college football. That's just one aspect of the game. I don't know if there's a best era of college football. No, I didn't see that LSU won the baseball championship, but somebody typed it in the comments earlier, and I took their word for it. Lou, what was the worst and best UGA season that I've watched? Well, the best season was 2021, in my opinion. That's the best Georgia team I've ever seen, was 2021. The worst Georgia team? I mean, if you go back to the late 80s and early to mid 90s, there were some really bad teams, but I was 12, 13, 14, 15 years older, and I don't really remember a lot about them other than that they were bad. The worst team this century was probably that, was it 2009 or 2010 team? It ended up going like 6-7 with a loss to Central Florida or something in the bowl game. That's probably the worst I've seen. What do you think is more likely, Tennessee winning a natty or Hugh Freeze becoming agnostic? Hugh Freeze becoming agnostic. OKC with the ball in a 3-point lead, 4-3, no good. Indiana with the rebound. 5.5 minutes to go until halftime. The Thunder up 3. Indiana now dribbles down low, off the glass, up and in. It's good, and we're back to a 1-point game. Pacers just won't give up. That's right, G-Man. They just won't give up. They just won't give up. Unfortunately, I don't have to look back very far for OU's worst year. Yeah. 2016 was bad because they lost to Tennessee, Vandy, and Tech. Hugh Freezer, no holy man. Well, he pretends to be. He pretends to be. Wish I had known you were doing a Chappaqua. What happened to Scott Frost? He's back at UCF, isn't he? I think he's back at UCF. Ooh, did you see the Dogs win it all in person? No. Does VicTube know how to run OBS? No, Nate, he doesn't. He's completely. He got blown out by OBS. I just looked. Even when Georgia went 6-0 in the regular, 6-6 in the regular season in 2010, they still beat Tennessee 41-14. They've been beating Tennessee a lot the last 20 years. That's for sure. Who do you think college football is getting better? No. Well, no, it's gotten worse over the last 3 or 4 years with the transfer portal and NIL and players moving around and conference expansion and the Pac-12 going away and all that shit. I don't like any of that. At this point, I just would have preferred to keep Goose Malzoon. Yeah. Well. Yeah. That's probably what you should have done. I mean, it's easy to look back and say that now. I thought firing him was the right move when they did it, but see, here's the thing.
firing a coach being the right move or the wrong move is dependent on how good the coach is that you hire to replace him, right? You fire an 8-win coach, you hire a guy that wins 6 games, you should have kept the other guy, right? You fire a 6-win coach, hire a guy that wins 8 games, you made the right decision. So it all depends on how the next coach does, you know? And so it makes it easy to look back and say that, but I don't think that, from what I can remember, when Malzahn got fired, there wasn't a lot of people going, they shouldn't fire him. They should keep. It seemed like most people were on board with firing him. I was. I thought it was the right move. When I left, everybody wanted Goose out of the bounce house. Up, 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 up. Who had more magic, Auburn at home in 2010s or this year's Kansas City Chiefs? I didn't watch enough Chiefs games to even be able to answer that. Tennessee has 1 win in 9 years against Georgia. I will take that. Yeah, I'll take Georgia going 9-1 against anybody over a 10-year period. 100% facts there. 100% facts. Lou, do you like the NHL? Only the postseason. As far as watching it on TV, only the postseason. But NHL games are fun to go to in person. OKC for 3. No good off the front of the rim. The Thunder with a 1-point lead, but the Pacers have the ball. 5 minutes to go in the first half. For 3. No good. Thunder with the rebound. Back-to-back missed threes here, one by each team. Thunder up a point, 37-36, 4:50 to go until halftime. Spin move, kicks it out for 3, drains it that time. And the Thunder now up 4, 40-36. Now, how about play some damn defense? Come on, Thunder. We have Thunder minus 5.5 in the first half. Pacers in the lane, top of the key, drains it, back to a 2-point game. 4:20 to go in the first half now. Thunder with the ball in a 2-point lead. Dribble, 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 kicks it out for 3, be good. Damn it. Clanked it off the rim. Pacers with the rebound, down 2. 4 minutes to go now in the first half. Come on, Thunder, play some damn defense. Play some defense, let's go. What are you doing? Easy 2-pointer. Ties it up at 40. What is the WNBA? Have you been living under a rock? You don't know what the WNBA is? Holy shit. Who's the... UJ happy they don't have to meet Kentucky at Kroger Field this year. Yeah, how many years in a row have we beat them there? 20? 25? But yeah, thank God we don't have to beat them there again, I guess. Y'all are weird. Y'all are super fucking weird. Yeah. All tied at 40, 3 minutes to go. Thunder with the ball. We're retarded and bet the Thunder minus 5.5 because that's what y'all voted on. Mets are down 5-0 in the top of the 7th. They ain't been able to do shit. 1 out, runner on first for the Mets. OKC will be inbounding the ball with 3 minutes to go and 15 seconds on the shot clock. Into the lane, dishes it underneath, dribbles it back out wide. Drives into the lane, off the glass, rejected. Did they call goaltending on that? I thought that was a good block. I mean, I hope it's goaltending because I need the points, but oh yeah, it did hit the glass first. Yeah, that was a good call. That was goaltending. All right, so the bucket will count. 42-40, Thunder up. 2:45 to go. Pacers, short jumper, no good. Clanks it off the side of the rim. Thunder with a rebound. 2:37 to go now. Thunder with the ball and a 2-point lead. Come on, Thunder. Come on, Thunder. Dribbling up top into the lane. Dishes it out wide. From the wing for three. Ah, what in the fuck was that, man? God damn, you clanked that one. That was a fucking brick, dude. How in the fuck are you a... God damn. What in the fuck? That was a jump ball. Lou, when are you calling Paul Feinbaum again? Whenever I have a reason to. Who was your favorite college football player from last year? I liked Ham Hock. At Penn State. Who else did we really like watching last year? Probably Ham Hock. Yeah, Urkel at South Carolina was another one. Who was my favorite football player from 2010? Aaron Murray? I don't know. Making me go back and think now. Lou, you said UF was 50th in recruiting. 13th. We are back. Well, I said Florida was 50th when they were 50th. And you told me in response that recruiting doesn't matter until December. So I don't give a fuck where they're at now because you told me it didn't matter till December. Yeah. Anthony Thomas was so fun to watch, says K-Star. Anthony Thomas. Who did he play for? Oregon? Who was D'Anthony Thomas? Tyrann Mathieu should have won the Heisman in 2011. The Honey Badger? Know who that was? Wasn't that who that was? The Honey Badger? Who, have you ever checked out Korean baseball cheerleaders? No, I have not. I have my own Korean cheerleader right here at home. A live-in Korean cheerleader, too. No need for the baseball ones. No need for that. Got no interest in it, too. Yeah. Indiana at the free throw line. They're up 1. We're going to lose that 5.5 bet. So y'all hit your first quarter bet. You're going to lose your first half bet, though. Who do I want to win? I don't care. Nolan Smith or Jalen Walker. Who was better? Nolan Smith. Actually, Leonard Floyd. The correct answer is Leonard Floyd. Indiana with a 3-point lead, 1:15 to go in the first half. The Thunder with the ball. Pacers leading this game without their best player, Halliburton, who got injured halfway through the first quarter. OKC for 3, no good. Is that all Oklahoma's going to do is shoot threes? Or so they may lose this one. Indiana with the ball. Dribbles underneath the basket, now back out wide. Passes it up top. Into the lane. Fadeaway jumper from the free throw line is no good. And the Pacers grab the rebound with 45 seconds to go until halftime. They're down 3. OKC makes a bucket and is fouled, so they'll have a chance to tie it up here. 45-44 is the score. Pacers up 1, and OKC will be shooting a free throw with a chance to tie it up. Napier would destroy Norvell in a cage fight. Cam Newton did not deserve the Heisman. Yes, he did. The free throw was good, tied it at 45, and Indiana has committed an offensive foul here, I think. It's definitely a moving screen. Yeah, it's definitely a moving screen. Foul on Indiana will be Oklahoma City's ball. Lou, will you bet WNBA games next? I've never bet a WNBA game, no. What channel is this game on? ABC, I believe, or... Yeah, ABC. OKC with the ball. SGA spin move off the glass. No good, but he was fouled. He'll be going to the free throw line to shoot 2. Cam Newton was not that good. Yeah, well, you're mentally retarded. So I got my prediction in, and Nico is winning 15 Heismans, and UCLA is going 100-0 and winning 16 Natties. Oh boy. What's up, Travis? Y'all are sick. You know that? Y'all are sick. Utah might get their first 5-star recruit ever. O-line coach seems to think so. Feeling zooted? I guess I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee at halftime. That's as close as I'm getting to zooted. OKC made the free throws. 2-point lead for the Thunder. Pacers with the ball. 15 seconds to go in the first half. It should be the last shot here. They'll hold for the last shot, I'm sure. This game is zooted, yeah? Did you watch the Stanley Cup? I watched, I think, 2 games of the Stanley Cup. The 2 games that I bet on. I think I only bet on 2, and I watched them both. Halftime score, Indiana 48, OKC 47. 1-point lead for the road team, and the underdog Pacers outplayed Oklahoma City in the first half despite losing Halliburton halfway through the first quarter, arguably their best player. So Indiana out here with their win one for the Gipper routine. We'll see if they can keep it going in the second half. All right, I'm going to take about a 5-minute break. I'm going to make a cup of coffee, and I will be back in a second.
Subscribe to YouTube.
All right, it's time to get serious here. NBA championship is on the line. Second half, just getting ready to get underway here. Surprise lead for the Pacers at halftime, who were a significant underdog in this game and lost their best player halfway through the first quarter, Halliburton. But a gritty performance by the Pacers has them with a 1-point lead here, 48-47 to start the third quarter. We are underway. Thunder with the first possession here. The Mets are officially dog shit. They're losing 7-0. Clanker of a three by Thunder. Thunder's picking up right where they left off here with these clank three-pointers. Ball goes out of bounds. Flop count 4. About 10 more, they might catch up with a college football game. College football's got more flops than any sport on the planet. They missed another three, the Thunder did, but that time they got the rebound underneath the basket, put it in off the glass. Thunder now with a 1-point lead, 49-48. Uncle Lou, nice cap. Hey, thank you, buddy. Indiana fails to score on their first possession. Thunder with the ball back in a 1-point lead, coming up on 11 minutes to go in the third. Kicks it out for three. Clanks another one off the rim. But the Thunder get the rebound. The Thunder have missed 3 threes in the first minute of the third quarter. And it looks like they're setting up for another one. There it is. From the moon. Drains it. A Steph Curry three from 2 planets away. Miracle three by the Thunder. 4-point lead now. Pacers miss a layup but get the rebound, kick it out for 3, and the Pacers drain it. Back to a 1-point game. 52-51, the Thunder on top. 10.5 to go in the third. It's true that Florida is not going to win anything with Billy Napier as their head coach. I would agree with that statement. They're never going to win anything with Billy Napier. They know that. He doesn't know what he's doing. It clearly says it on the bottom of the screen. Don't know what they're doing list. Napier. He's the first name on the list. Of course he's not winning a natty. He doesn't know what he's doing. Nobody has a clue about coaches, but they think they do. Do you have a clue? Don't you think didn't you just say Billy Napier's going to win a natty by 2032? How is it that nobody else has a clue about coaches, but somehow you do? Billy Napier's not winning a natty, dude. Is it just me, or does it feel like most championship games end up being underwhelming? This game has been fire, though. I don't know. I mean, I don't follow it enough to know, I guess. This game has been good, though. Yeah, clearly. I don't know how many finals go to Game 7 either. Thunder clank another 3. Indiana with the rebound. They're down 3 with 9:28 to go, and they just turned it over. Thunder looking to run. Fast break. Euro step. Off the glass and good. 5-point lead now for the Thunder. Who is more of a Christ figure? What? DJ Lagway to Florida fans or Nico to Tennessee fans before he left? It's a close one, dude. Very close. I've made that comparison. Florida fans talk about Lagway the same way Tennessee fans talked about Nico. And each of them are going to win the same thing. Nothing. Not a thing. Is Napier Saban? But no. No, but he is as not bad as some say. No. Dude, he's got a 500 record. He's got 19 losses in 3 years. He's terrible. He's the worst. He's got the worst record What Florida coach has ever had a worse record after 3 years than Billy Napier? I don't understand it. Florida has fallen so far. The guy, they think that the guy's been there 3 years. His best season, he lost 5 games. And somehow Florida fans have fallen so low, their expectations have sunk so low that they think that's good. I don't get it. I don't understand. Mullins destroyed the bones of the football program. No, he didn't. Mullins the best coach you've had since Urban Meyer. You got rid of him because he said something stupid about recruiting and got clowned for it, so Florida fired him. I mean, you can't justify firing Mullen after 3 years, but keeping Napier after 3 years. Mullen had a million times more success in his first 3 years at Florida than Napier has. Bottom of the 8th in the baseball game, Phillies up 7-1. Mets did finally score a run, but it's too little too late. Todd Grantham was so bad. I don't see how Todd Grantham keeps getting high-level jobs. He's like, he must have something on a bunch of college football coaches, some kind of dirt or something. It's amazing to me how many times he gets fired and rehired. It's unbelievable. There's not a team he's ever coached at where after he left, the fans liked him, you know, like they were sad to see him go. It's unbelievable. Mullen made the SEC championship. Yeah. Yes, he did. Beat Georgia and made the SEC championship. They got rid of him 1 year later. Who's the worst coach you've seen at Georgia? Well, in my lifetime, there's only been 5, so the worst would be Ray Goff. Indiana clinks a 3 that time, but they get the rebound. They're down 5 and headed to the free throw line now. Jim Donnan was worse than Ray Goff? No, bullshit. Bullshit. No. No. Stop it. Don't even, no. I got Mets Phillies over 9. You need 2 more runs. 1 run to push, 2 to win. Lagway is that dude. Anthony Richardson was drafted 4th overall in the NFL draft. What did Billy Napier do with him? Nothing. You're just like Tennessee fans. Florida is not one good quarterback away from being meaningful, dude. Lagway could be the best quarterback in football. What would that mean? Another 7-5 season? And so you can brag about losing 5 games again? If you keep Napier long enough, he'll get lucky and have a good season at some point, and then you can say you were right, just like Florida State fans did with Mike Norvell when he had one good year out of 5. And the rest of the college football world, me included, hopes that you do keep Napier around long enough to have one good year, and you give him one of those ridiculous 10-year, $100 million contracts so that you're stuck with him for another 10 years, because the guy's terrible. He's never going to win anything. You have the worst you might have the best quarterback. I don't know. You got the worst offensive coordinator in the SEC, though. It's not even close. The worst offensive coordinator. DJ Lagway is a monster compared to Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson went 4th overall. So, we'll see where Lagway goes. I love the offseason. At the end of September, you're going to be calling for Billy Napier to be fired, just like you were at the end of last September. Six-point lead for OKC now. 7:20 to go. Thunder have the ball. Up 6. What a spin move. Kicks it out wide for 3. Wow. Somehow made that one. Clanked all around the rim, then off the backboard, and then in. Largest lead of the game for Oklahoma City. They're up 9. They're on a 9-0 run. Billy calls the play. Exactly. Yes, Billy Napier is Florida's offensive coordinator. Yes, that's why they have the worst offensive coordinator in the SEC. Guy's mentally retarded. Been there, what is this, his 4th year? He still won't hire an offensive coordinator? What a dumbass. There's no way to make a bet on whether or not your offensive line is a wall. There's no way to place a bet on that. There's a way to bet on what your record's going to be. There's a way to bet on that, but I doubt you'll do it. Florida is headed for a 6-6 season. Best case scenario for Florida would be 8-4, and that would be a miracle. Most likely a 6-6 or 7-5. Florida's always on the Georgia mind of fans. Well, y'all are in the chat talking about. There's Florida fans in the chat talking about Florida, dummy. I got Florida 10-2 or 9-3. I'll bet you any amount of money on earth they don't go 10-2. I'll bet you 2-1 on your money. I'll bet you 2-1 on your money. So you put up 50, I'll put up 100 that they don't go 10-2. I don't think you believe it. I don't even think you believe the shit you type. I really don't. I'll give you 2-1 on your money. Nebraska going 10-2? Yeah, I'll take that bet too. Nebraska's not going 10-2 either. How long does it take before Kirby Smart gets in prison? What? You realize you have to commit crimes to go to prison, don't you? What crime is Kirby Smart accused of besides assault and battery against Florida every year? South Carolina going 11-1. Yeah, I'll take that bet too. Nobody wants to bet. Notre Dame going undefeated in the regular season. They could. I'll take the bet. I'll bet against anybody going undefeated. If anybody wants to make a bet on that, I'll bet against any team going undefeated. So if you want to make a bet on that, I will. That Notre Dame goes undefeated. And I think Notre Dame's going to be really good, but I would bet against any one team going undefeated if anybody wants to make that bet. It wasn't 201 miles an hour. On the way home, my head went through a windshield. I hope the windshield is okay. Just kidding, Jay. I hope you're alright, buddy, if you're being serious. What is Gunnar Stockton's ranking in the SEC QB room? I'd go Sellers, Nussmeier, Manning. Stockton's probably like 7 or 8. Sooners winning national title this year. You talking about women's softball, I guess, because that's the only thing they're any good at. Indiana underneath the basket, but nowhere to go with the ball, has to dribble it back out, and it gets stolen. Not good coming out of a timeout there for Indiana. They're still down 9. Oklahoma City on a 9-0 run. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. 67-58 the score. Pacers playing without Halliburton. Thunder off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Indiana. Still 7-1 in the baseball game. Phillies up over the Mets. Top of the ninth now. Last chance for the Mets and for the guy in the comments that had over 9 runs. 1 out. Now 2 outs. Fly ball to right field. Easy play for the Phillies. Mets down to their last out. This one's almost over. Week 1 loaded with good matchups. Almost every single week of the football season is loaded with good matchups now that we've had. That's the one positive that came from conference expansion. Almost every single week you've got 4 or 5 great games. Indiana finally scores again. 67-62, a 5-point game now. OKC scores again, back to a 7-point lead for the Thunder. Indiana scores quick. 5-point game. 4:39 to go in the third quarter. Dirt Burglar can't even brag about softball anymore. You're talking about Oklahoma? Lou, if there was one non-con team for UGA to play, who would you pick? Like one, Georgia Tech. If I could only pick one non-con game a year, it'd be Georgia Tech. Rivalry game, in-state rival. Would you rather have a good offense or a good defense? Well, I'd rather have both so you can win a natty. I mean, you're basically asking, would you rather be Southern Cal or Iowa? I'd rather be neither. In this day and age, offense. Well, LSU had an unbelievable offense 2 years ago, but couldn't stop a nosebleed on defense, so they didn't win shit. They didn't even make the SEC championship game, and they had arguably the best offense in the country. Where would Ohio State rank in the SEC? What? What do you mean, all time, or like this upcoming season, or what? They'd be 1 or 2. I mean, maybe 3 at the worst. Where do I have Ohio State? I've got Ohio State ranked 2nd.
behind only Texas. Iowa has the best tradition in all the college football. I'm going to say no, they don't on that. Who's talking shit about Lagway? I haven't seen anybody talk shit about Lagway. I've seen people try to educate you that good football teams are made up of more than a good quarterback. Shedeur Sanders was a good quarterback. How'd Colorado do last year? Cam Ward was better than Lagway. How'd Miami do? I mean, they beat the shit out of Florida, but so did everybody else. I mean, you keep saying, you keep talking about nothing but Lagway, and then you say there's more than Lagway. You never name anybody though, and then 5 minutes later you're back to talking about Lagway again. UGA average QB, Michigan average QB, Ohio State average QB, all natty winners. Exactly. Stetson Bennett didn't win a natty. J.J. McCarthy didn't win a natty. And Will Howard didn't win a natty. Georgia, Michigan, and Ohio State won natties because they have three of the most talented teams in the country, and they all three had excellent coaching staffs with NFL players all over the field on both sides of the ball. Florida has DJ Lagway and a bunch of people nobody else can name, and one of the worst coaches in all of college football, Billy Napier. Lagway wouldn't start at most SEC teams. And I don't believe that. As a second-year guy, he'd start at Georgia. He'd start at Tennessee with Nico gone for sure. It's easier to name the schools he wouldn't start at. He wouldn't start at LSU. He wouldn't start at South Carolina. He wouldn't start at Texas. He'd probably start everywhere else. I can't believe Uncle Lou said that about Iowa. What they do is unreal. It's really cool and it's special. I didn't say it wasn't really cool or really special. I said it's not the best tradition in all of college football because it's not. The white gorilla mask has made an appearance in the chat. There's lots of things that are really cool that aren't the best tradition in all of college football, like everything in college football except the best tradition in all of college football, whatever that is. But nothing that happens at Iowa is the best tradition in all of college football. The best tradition in college football is Sandstorm at Willie B. Whenever you say anything that your own team does is the best of something, it doesn't mean anything at all. Texas is losing to Ohio State right off the rip. That's going to be a good game. I'm probably going to go with Ohio State in that one since they're the home team. I love how they do that for those kids. Florida, one of college football's blue blood? No, they're not. Florida's not on any blue blood list. Florida's nowhere near a blue blood. Florida's not even close to being a blue blood. They're not even on the blue blood bubble. Michigan will make it 5 in a row against Ohio State. It's in Michigan. It's in Michigan, and by that time that game is played, Bryce Underwood will have a full season of experience under his belt.
You name all the blue bloods. Yeah, it's easy. Oklahoma, Nebraska, Southern Cal, Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame. Is that 8? There's 8 of them. Did I name all 8? There's 8 of them. Oklahoma, Nebraska, Southern Cal, Texas, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame. Those are the 8. Those body counts just won't give up, will they? Indiana drains a 2, but they're still down 9 with 1:40 to go in the third quarter. Oklahoma City has dominated this third quarter. Florida has done something not even Nick Saban has done. Yeah, lose 19 games in 3 years. Nick Saban never did that. Why did Michigan pick up Jake Garcia? Well, probably because Bryce Underwood's a true freshman, and they lost Alex Orji to the transfer portal, so they probably brought Garcia in just to have somebody with some amount of experience. Harvard a blue blood? No. I just named all 8 blue bloods, and Harvard wasn't one of them, so I don't even know why you would ask that. Spurrier, I'm not knocking Spurrier. Spurrier was good. Hell, he won one national title. Spurrier won one national title. I'm not saying he's not good. I mean, he's not Kirby Smart, but he's good. He's right there with Ed Orgeron on the all-time national title list. Appeared in 2. We bragging about losses again? Georgia wishes they had Florida tradition. Florida doesn't have any tradition. Florida was in the SEC for 60 years before they ever won it. They don't have any tradition. All Florida has is a 17-year period from 1990 to 2008. That's it. They don't have any tradition. Is a hypothetical pissed off Bama the greatest team of all time? Only in a hypothetical matchup against a hypothetical team that they're not playing, yes. Of course Georgia's got tradition. They're the second best program in the history of the SEC. Georgia's got SEC titles in almost every single decade. Florida's got SEC titles in 2 decades out of 11. South Carolina has more tradition than Florida. Well, I might be getting a little carried away with that one. Georgia's new criminal school with the lowest graduation rate in the nation, I think. Yeah, I couldn't care less about academics. Can you? You can't tell me what DJ Lagway's majoring in because you don't give a shit. Neither does anybody else. All anybody cares about is who wins on Saturday. Nobody gives a shit about fucking spelling bees. I can't even think of a single Florida tradition. Well, singing that Tom Petty song is pretty cool. When do they do that? At halftime or the start of the third quarter? I forget when they do that. That is pretty cool. Tom Petty thing they do. Isn't it Tom Petty? I think it's Tom Petty. I might have that wrong. 81-68. OKC up 13. 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. All Thunder in the third quarter. Pacers had a 1-point lead at halftime. OKC has pulled away here in the third. They're now up 13. Indiana's got the ball holding for the last shot. 5 seconds to go. Jump shot contested, no good. Rebounded by OKC. Half court chunk, no good. Your halftime score 81-68. OKC up over the Pacers. This is game 7, so championship on the line here. Florida owns Georgia the last 35 years. Football wasn't invented 35 years ago, so Georgia owns Florida, period, all time. That's all there is to it. Georgia's got a winning record against Florida, and they've beat them, 4 years in a row? 7 of the last 8, 8 of the last 10. Tom Petty's a Gainesville native. Now see, I didn't know that. I knew they did the Tom Petty thing, but I didn't know. I guess that's why they do that, but I didn't know he was a native of there. Georgia is 56-44-2 all time against Florida. Yes. Georgia owns Florida. Georgia leads the all-time series. Georgia has more SEC championships. Georgia has more national titles. They're better than Florida in every way. Who's the bigger rival for UJ between Florida and Auburn? It depends who you ask. If you ask people in West Georgia, a lot of them will say Auburn because they live close over that way. But if you just ask like every Georgia, if you could somehow poll every Georgia fan on earth, who's the bigger rival between Florida and Auburn, Florida, it would probably be Florida. Uncle Lou just lied. Florida has more SEC championships than Georgia. Florida has 7, Georgia has 5. No, Georgia has 14 SEC championships, buddy. 15 now. Second only to Alabama. I don't know where you're getting those numbers from, but you're way off. You must be talking about SEC championship games, not SEC championships, but Georgia's second all time behind only Alabama. Georgia's got, I think, 15. What's it like to have to call a rival daddy? I have no idea. Georgia's got 3 rivals and they own them all. I mean, I'm trying to figure out, I don't know if this Gator Swag guy is mentally retarded. There's been signs in the past that he is. SEC football champions. Let's see. Georgia 14, Florida 8. Dang. Not even close. Who has won the most SEC championships? Alabama with 30, Georgia with 14, Florida in 5th place. 5-star dummy. Commercial break in the basketball game, waiting on the start of the 4th quarter. Yeah, nobody's catching Alabama. Come on, Octavian? The Florida fan that calls in all the time, Octavian? No, Florida's not even close to Georgia all the time. All-time wins. Let's check this out. Looks like Georgia's in 9th place in terms of, for those of you asking who the Blue Bloods are, they're these 8 teams right here. Michigan, Ohio State, Bama, Notre Dame, Texas, Oklahoma. Take Penn State out. They're not. And add, who's missing from this list? Southern Cal? Yeah, I'd put Southern Cal. These 8 teams are the Blue Bloods except for Penn State. They had Southern Cal.
Georgia 9th all-time wins. Let's see where Florida is. Florida 19th, just behind Virginia Tech, Washington, and West Virginia. Wow. 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 Poverty. No, Florida State's not a blue blood, no. Florida State, just like Florida, was complete dog shit until the late 80s and 90s. Like the first 100 years or whatever it was for Florida State and Florida both, they were absolutely terrible. Same with Miami. The state of Florida was absolute dog shit in football until 40 years ago. So none of the Florida teams will ever be a blue blood because they sucked for over half their existence. Florida might go 6-6 this year. If Lagway stays healthy, they might do better than that. They might win 7 or 8. Marcus Freeman is a great coach. He's a good coach for sure. It depends on how many great coaches you think there are, but he's definitely top 10. Still a commercial in the basketball game for reasons unknown. I'd say Miami is the best Florida program of all time, then FSU, then Florida third. Yeah, that sounds right. Sounds right. If Marcus Freeman could stop losing to FCS teams and Group of 5 teams every year, he could find himself on a top 5 list. If we were talking about basketball and baseball, that might matter, but we're not, so it doesn't. Marcus Freeman has that one game he takes off every year. Yeah, he's got to get over that. I wonder how Mike White feels. Who's that? Maybe it's Catholic Charity to the Impoverished. Notre Dame, Texas, Georgia, Penn State, Ohio State will make the playoffs again. Let's see. Notre Dame, Texas, Georgia, Penn State, and Ohio State. I think of all the teams you named, Georgia's the least likely. They definitely could. Georgia's basketball coach who left Florida. Oh, okay. FSU is definitely not better than Florida all time. That is dumb. FSU has the highest win percentage out of the 3. All right, fourth quarter underway. 16-point lead for the Thunder. Pacers running out of time here. Their best player went out halfway through the first quarter, and that's really hurt them. Thunder clinks one off the back of the rim here. Pacers with the rebound. 10:40 to go in the fourth quarter. A 16-point lead for the Thunder. They better start draining some threes or this one's over. There's a 3. No good. Rebounded by Indiana. They're going to call somebody with a foul. I think it's going to be on Indiana. Thunder will get the ball.
What's up, Octavia? Thunder with a long three, no good. Rebounded by Indiana. Still a 16-point lead for the Thunder, 84-68. 10 minutes to go in the last quarter, fourth quarter. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Neither team ever won an NBA championship. And whoever wins, it's going to be the 7th different team in the last 7 years to win an NBA championship. NBA, a league of parity. A league of parity. How many schedule previews are coming out this week? I don't know. 4. But it depends on if there's no other news in college football. If there's nothing else to talk about, probably 5 or 6. If something else comes up, then, maybe 3, 4, or 5. Florida and FSU head-to-head. Florida has them beat. Heisman and other awards as well as Natties. How can you say that? Maybe they are pretty equal, but FSU better? No. Texas man, I need that brisket. Notre Dame will beat Arkansas and Texas A&M. I definitely think they'll beat Arkansas. I think the Texas A&M game will be a good one. Ohio State is the best all-time program other than Alabama. I'd go with Michigan. Michigan's a better all-time program than Ohio State. OKC has only been around since 2008. 1 runner-up and 1 championship. Nine minutes to go. Thunder with an easy 2 under the basket, 86-68, an 18-point lead now for the Thunder, and the Pacers are watching this thing slip away here. I don't know about this dribble and drive, man. You might need to start chunking up some threes, white boy. Indiana gets rejected at the rim. Wow. Wow. Thunder with the ball up 18. This one's over. How many days until college football? I have no idea, Dylan. We'd have to ask Baylor, man. He's in charge of keeping up with that. Pacers might not score a point in the fourth quarter. Thunder just drained a 21-point lead. Now this one's definitely over. Are Pacers fans about to pull their best Ohio State fan impression and blame injuries for this loss? I have no idea who's next for a prediction video. I don't ever know until I sit down to do it. I go over to the Patreon page, I look at the list, and I pick a team off of there that I'm ready to do the prediction for. Ohio State has never lost 8 games in a season. Never beat Georgia either. Florida leads the all-time series against FSU 38-28-2. USA. OKC just looks like a different team in the second half. The Pacers look gassed. Penn State is in a situation where they potentially can go up 10-2. Penn State is in a situation where they potentially can go 10-2 or 12-0, even though I think they can go 11-1. So you think they can win 10, 11, or 12 games? Well, their projected win total is I think 10.5. Or 9.5, so it's right in that area. I think they go 11-1. Miami owns both of those poverty programs anyway. Texas made mistakes in that game. Couldn't convert a 4th and goal at the 1. Ohio State fans blame weather even when the game is in a dome. Ohio State fans will blame anything for a loss. You can't find an Ohio State fan that will ever say that they lost the game because the other team was better. Ever. It's never happened. It's never happened. It's the weather. It's the announcers. It's what TV station the game was on. It's somebody got injured in the first quarter. The refs, the announcers, whatever. I mean, they blame anything. Okay, what was the last game Ohio State lost because the other team was better? I forgot Ohio State won the 90 because all they do is cry about Michigan. Texas lost to Georgia twice. If I hear another Ohio State fan on that bullshit, I'll call them out on it immediately. We need more of you and less of the other Ohio State people. When Ohio State played Florida, Florida was better. When the fuck was that? That was the last time Ohio State lost a game because the other team was better? When you played Florida, what was that, 20 years ago? See, you're doing it now. In 2024, Ohio State didn't play Florida. What are you talking about? I'm just going to ignore you and say that I don't know what you're talking about here. Will James Franklin get over the hump and beat Ohio State or Oregon? Yes. Ohio State only loses because of the rain and injuries. Rain, injuries, weather, announcers, what channel the game is on, what time the game kicked off at noon, and it should have been a night game. Played below the Mason-Dixon line. Played in a dome, not played in a dome. The wind was too loud. That's the weirdest one I've ever heard. The wind was too loud. Still a 21-point lead for the Thunder. Now a 22-point lead. They just made a free throw. 7:40 to go in the game. Yes, the wind was too loud. That was I forget which game that was. I think that was Ohio State might have actually ended up winning that game, but it was a game, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago against a bad team, and they nearly got beat, and they blamed it on the wind being too loud. Yeah, planting the flag is illegal. Playing noon games against anybody except Michigan is illegal. Some guy got hurt. $20-point lead for the Thunder. They've got the ball. They did have the ball. They just turned it over. And OKC commits a foul. OSU is the current champs. I need to talk another time. No, I can't speak for everybody else, but as far as me, I'm going to talk whenever the fuck I want to. The last football season clearly showed that your team is not Ohio State. Yeah. And it clearly showed that your team is not Michigan. You lost to them again. Ohio State is still owned by Michigan. I hate to say it, but Ohio State may run it back. Now you're going to tell me championships don't matter. I'm not telling you that. Ohio State fans told me that when they lost to Michigan. They told me the Michigan game is more important than winning the national title until they lost to Michigan and won the national title. Then they changed their mind. But no, you'll never hear me say national titles don't matter. You're thinking of Ohio State fans that said that. And they're busy losing to Michigan when they didn't think they were going to win anything after that. Now they've changed their mind. And they were morons. Yes, of course they were. Of course they were. Of course they were morons. OKC's got a player down now. It looks like they're up 19. Oh, this game's over. The fuck is that? An Iran flag? How about Lou's hat? I like it. Where can I snag one of them? Anywhere that sells hats, I guess. I think I got this one off of Amazon. Is it possible Penn State goes 12-0? It's possible, but I mean, they host Oregon and play at Ohio State. So I don't think it's likely they go 12-0, but I guess it's possible. Irish gangster hats. I have a couple of those too. Like the Peaky Blinders hats. I got a couple of those too. You can't really wear those in the summertime though. Those are made out of a real thick, like wool. They're way too hot to wear in the summertime. These that I wear in the summertime are very thin material. Tennessee runs the SEC. In what? Not football. Michigan just won it all in 2023. Yes, they did. The next reason Ohio State say they don't win a game is because Ryan Day doesn't use enough black hair dye. Dang. It's terrible, man. I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. 6 minutes to go in this beatdown. 17-point lead for the Thunder, and they've got the ball. They just turned it over, though. Boy, Indiana just won't give up, will they? You got to give them credit for trying. They will not give up. Tennessee. I remember this in Tennessee. Remember this? Focus. Focus. $1998. What a great year. Hard to believe Tennessee hadn't won the SEC since last century, but somehow they've managed to not do it. Yeah. Neyland Stadium is a dump. I've heard that, although I've never been there, so I can't say for certain, but I have heard that. Now a 15-point lead for the Thunder. They are inbounding the ball. Indiana in desperation mode, full court press here. OKC gets by it, no problem. Fouled underneath the basket. The Thunder now will be shooting two. Here comes the Pacer comeback. Well, It would make the game exciting, but I don't know if the Pacers got enough juice to come back here down 15 with 5:50 to go. I don't know. I don't know. We went to Japanese for my daughter's birthday tonight. The cook in front of you place. It was good as usual. You know, the best thing about going to that Japanese is you get at least 2 meals out of it. You know what I'm saying? You get at least 2 meals out of it. You get, you eat when you're there. Y'all can't eat all that when you go to Japanese, can you? Please tell me you don't eat all that food they give you when you go to the Japanese place. I don't even eat half of it. And then you bring it home, you have some good leftovers the next day. Is Israel a cancer? No, it's a country. Yeah. You feel like you weigh 1,000 pounds. Oh, I know. And they, you know, they don't give you all your food at once. You know how they do it, right? They cook the rice, they give you your rice. Then they start on your meat, they give you your meat. Then they do the vegetables, they give you the vegetables. I was about filled up. Well, before they even cook, they bring you out the salad and that bowl of dishwater soup. That's what I call it. I don't know what whatever that soup is they give you at the Japanese place, I call it dishwater soup. So you eat your bowl of salad and your dishwater soup. Then the guy comes out with the cook in front of you routine, gives you the rice first. Now, I'm full. I don't even eat half the rice. I'm already full. I haven't even got my steak, my shrimp, or my vegetables. I don't see how anybody could go there and eat all that shit in one sitting. I don't see how anybody could do that. Yeah, the food is great. And it's just as good left over the next day. Only thing is the shrimp. Like, I get steak and shrimp. I don't like reheated shrimp. I don't think anybody does. It gets all rubbery. Shrimp does when you reheat it. So I make sure if I get steak and shrimp at the Japanese place that almost said Jap. Cancel Lou. Hashtag cancel Lou because I almost said Jap. The Japanese place, you have to eat all your shrimp before you get full because reheated shrimp is no good. Do I like sushi? I eat some sushi, but really I only eat the more basic sushis. I don't eat some of the more wild type sushi stuff. I whatever like the 5 or 6 most basic sushi rolls are is about all I eat on the sushi deal. Like I can't eat sushi as a meal. I eat it as an appetizer. Like there's a sushi place in town that we go to. Because the lady likes sushi, and she eats sushi as a meal. She'll order all kinds of weird shit. I'll eat a little bit of the sort of basic sushi as an appetizer, and then eat something else with it. Yeah, I think everybody would eat a California roll. It's not even really sushi. California rolls are like the most basic of sushi you can possibly get. I eat more than that. No, I'm good. Almost done in here. Under 6 minutes to go. OKC's blowing these woozies out.
Is that good or bad for the payload?
Oh, it doesn't matter. We're up so much it don't even matter. We didn't bet the second half. The chat lost their bet in the second quarter. Freeman is on his way. Smoked salmon roll. I think I've had that before. Dragon? I don't eat anything with the word dragon in it. Nothing. That's just a rule that I have. I don't eat anything with the word dragon in it. I don't eat escargot. No. I don't eat escargot. I don't eat escargot. I don't eat caviar. I don't eat snail, any type of snails like that. I don't eat any of that. Philly roll. I think I've had a Philly roll. No caviar, no snails, no escargot. I don't eat any of that. I'm way too basic for that. Way too basic for that. Oh, Mrs. Peter, y'all going to see Bret Michaels or what's the deal with that? I really think y'all should. You know, y'all deserve a nice trip. What?
Who are you talking to?
Mrs. Pete is in the chat. I'm just telling her I feel like you and her deserve a nice trip to go see Bret Michaels, the Poison guy. I just feel like y'all would enjoy that, and y'all deserve to go. That's all.
And if you and Pete just happen to tag along, all right?
Well, we'll go with you, but I mean, we're not going to go to the Bret Michaels thing. We'll
I
just,
know you're not going to go to the Bret Michaels
we'll
thing.
hang out and read a book or whatever.
Hey, everybody.
If a bunch of people like it, it is pretty good. Don't mean I have to eat it. Commercial break in the game now, of course. Yeah, y'all deserve to go see Bret Michaels up in Cherokee at the Harris Casino on August 9th. I really feel like y'all should make a weekend of it, honestly. The concert's on a Saturday night. I feel like y'all should go up Friday afternoon, have yourselves a nice dinner up there or something like that. Get up Saturday morning, spend all day at the pool up there. You know, come in, get you something to eat, get showered, changed, go see Bret Michaels, have you a really good time at your Bret Michaels show. And as far as me and Pete are concerned, don't worry about us. We'll somehow make do with whatever else. No, I don't play golf. No, I don't play golf. My brother does, and he's really good. My son has gotten into golf too here lately. A bunch of his buddies play. So my son has gotten into it some, and my brother plays. My brother's been playing, you know, constantly for 30 years. He's pretty good. I don't play. We're just not winning more than 9 games. Is that a flex? I mean, that would. Your coach has never won 9 games. Blue strikes me as the type of guy to have elite dad lore. You know, I've never played pickleball. I would try it, but I've never played it. No. Pete and Mrs. Pete have gotten into pickleball lately. My dad has a pickleball racket, and my dad even has a collapsible pickleball net that he can put in his driveway or whatever. But no, I've never even played. When was the last time Florida was relevant in football? They were decent in 2020. How often do you tune into Zach Smith's show? I don't watch a lot of team specific shows. Now I like Zach Smith. I think y'all know that. I've had Zach Smith on my show several times. Right when he was first starting his YouTube channel, he got in touch with me through email, and it's funny because at first I didn't even believe. I thought somebody was trolling me. I didn't believe it was really him. But he sent me his phone number or something, if I remember right. And we talked on the phone a couple of times. And anyway, he had literally was just looking to start his YouTube channel. If I remember right, this was back like in COVID, 2020, I think this was. Anyway, we talked on the phone and exchanged a bunch of emails, and he ended up coming on my show a bunch of times. And I mean, look, I'm no expert, but I had been doing YouTube for 8 years or whatever, 7 years at the time, and he was just starting, so he was asking me some different questions and things. Obviously, his show has taken off over the last couple of years, so I'm happy for him with that. And I still talk to him back and forth on Twitter every once in a while. And he wants me to come on his show. So I got to figure out a day or a time, or we got to work something out with that. But yeah, I like Zach Smith. But I don't watch all of his. Most of what I see from the Zach Smith show is smaller clips that are posted as YouTube shorts or TikToks. And it's nothing against Zach. Like I said, I like Zach, but I don't watch a lot of team-specific shows. Yeah, Minister Sports is the name of it. Minister Sports. Everybody is just hating because they know what's about to happen in the next few years. Yeah, Florida's going to be embarking on a coaching search as soon as they can afford the buyout. That's what's going to happen. Indiana has cut the lead to 12. They were down 21 2 minutes ago. 4:11 to go in the game now, and it's a 12-point lead for the Thunder. Afford the buyout, you got us confused with FSU. No, if it wouldn't have been for the House settlement and the fact that the schools have to pay the athletes $20 million a year now, Florida would have fired Napier last year. The only reason they didn't fire Napier is because of the incoming settlement, where there's a lot of schools are going through the same thing. I think that's why Sam Pittman is still at Arkansas. There's a lot of schools. You're going to see schools keeping coaches longer than they used to because they have to pay out that $21 million a year to the athletes now. Napier's contract goes to 2028. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter when a coach's contract goes to. The buyout is all that matters in terms of firing them or not. Florida's not been good since like 2009. They were okay in 2020. I mean, 2020, maybe you say 2020 doesn't count at all because it was a COVID year, but they were pretty good that year. Lou, did Georgia release how they're going to spend that $20.5 million? Not that I've seen, no. My guess is about 75 or 80% of it's going to go to football, at least. Weren't they also good in 2017? Florida? No. Georgia beat the absolute shit out of them in 2017. Wasn't that the year Georgia beat them like 42-7 or something? Florida went 4-7 in 2017. Is that the year they canceled the LSU game because they knew they were going to get their ass beat? That's why they only played 11 games. Is that year? If he goes 8-4, it's the toughest schedule this century. I don't know. Look, y'all need to stop with the tough schedule shit. Georgia had a tough schedule last year. They won the SEC and made the playoffs. Guess what? If you have a good team, you can beat other good teams and you'll make the playoffs. So Florida's problem isn't their schedule. Florida's problem is that they're not good enough to win enough games. That's their problem. Lou, what would you say about Billy if he goes 9-3 and 23? Nothing. Having one good season in 4 years doesn't impress me. Are you impressed with Mike Norvell? Do you think Mike Norvell is some kind of great coach because he had one good year? Or do you think he's terrible because he's had 3 terrible years out of 5? One good year out of 4 or 5 years doesn't impress me. Tebow probably has some eligibility left, dang. I mean, you tell me how good of a coach you think Norvell is. Norvell went 13-1, won a conference championship game, and made a New Year's Six game once in 5 years. So, what? You're asking me if Billy Napier's best season in 4 years is 9-3, which results in winning absolutely nothing, what that would mean? It would mean absolutely nothing, my guy. Oh, that's an impossible question to answer about when Coach Smart retires, who you would want to replace him, because you don't know who the hot coaches in college football are going to be at that hypothetical point in the future. So, I mean, I can't answer that question. Do you golf a lot? I don't golf at all. Ironically enough, Carson Beck grew up a Florida fan. Well, that's because he's from Florida. Jacksonville. Back to a 12-point lead for OKC. 2:20 to go. Pacers with the ball. Off the glass, in and good. And it's a 10-point game with 2:12 to go. Lou, do you think a COVID title really counts? No, I don't. No. Well, it counts in that I don't think it should be like removed from the record books like the season never happened. But I don't look at anything in 2020 the same way I look at things in any other year. Like people who there are some people who try to put 2020 Alabama in the greatest teams conversation. I completely disregard 2020 Alabama when it comes to talking about the greatest teams. It's just, you played no non-con games. You played only conference games. It was a shortened season, a shortened schedule, 5,000 people in the stands at road games. You had players on almost every team in the country that didn't play at all because of COVID. I just, it's not that it did. I mean, Alabama's 2020 natty counts more than the 4 or 5 fake natties that they claim from 70 and 80 years ago, where they finished third in the SEC and lost their bowl game but still claim a natty. It counts way more than that. I don't think it should be removed from the record books, but I don't look at anything that happened in 2020 the same way I look at things that happened in any other year, good or bad. I mean, Texas A&M we call Texas A&M Texas 8-4, right? What's the best year they've had in the SEC? 2020. They went 9-1 or whatever it was, 8-1, 9-1, whatever it was. By far the best year, 9-2, whatever. They had their best year ever. It's the only good year they've had. Lou, should I go get a pack of smokes now or in the morning? I'm fresh out. Oh, you should not go get one at all. Do the OKC fans have little sound maker fans? What? Could South Carolina win 10 games? They could, but boy, it's going to be hard. It's going to be real. I've got them at 9-3, and I don't even think they're going to hit that. But that 4-game stretch they have in October is brutal. They play at LSU, home against Bama, home against Oklahoma, and what's the other one? At Ole Miss. They could go 0-4 there. They could go 0-4 there. 11-point lead for the Thunder, 98-87, 126 to go. Valiant effort from the Pacers here in the fourth quarter, but they're going to come up short. Florida versus South Carolina for the SEC title. What year and what sport? Because we're talking about football in here. And you're clearly not talking about football with that comment. Tennessee is going 3-9. No, no, I don't think so. It would be hilarious, but I don't think they're going 3-9. I think they're going 7-5 or 8-4. I've got them at 8-4. Nobody wants to play us right now, says Octavia. No one wants to play anybody right now, dude. It's June. What are you talking about? There's not a single team in the SEC that looks as Florida as some kind of a juggernaut. Vandy, Mississippi State, Arkansas, Kentucky. Nobody looks at Florida. I mean, those are bottom-dwelling teams. They don't look at Florida and go, "Oh boy, we got no chance here." You know who teams like Arkansas, Mississippi State, Kentucky, and Vandy want to play? Florida, because they have a chance against Florida, whereas they don't have a chance against most anybody else. Nobody wants to come to the Swamp. Does Billy Napier even have a winning record at the Swamp? Let's find out. He probably does. Barely. I know he's 19-19 overall. Let's see what his record is at home. All right, last year at home. 0-1, 1-1, 0-2, or 1-2, 2-2, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3. 4-3 at home last year. Is that right? So his best year ever, he was 4-3 at home. Previous year. All right, so we're at 4-3, 5-3, 6-3, 7-3, 8-3, 8-4, 8-5. 8-5. Now, his first year, we're at 8-5, 9-5, 9-6, 10-6, 11-6, 12-6, 12-7, 13-7. He's 13-7 at home, so he's got 7 home losses in 3 years. And you claim people are scared to play at the Swamp. 13-7. Wow. Wow. 13-7 at home in 3 years. He's lost 7 home games in 3 years. Kirby Smart hasn't lost a home game since 2019. Look at the Pacers. They just won't give up. Down 15 and still scoring. Auburn is 12-11 in the last 3 or 4 seasons at home. Damn, that is bad. That's real bad. That's somehow worse than Florida. Dang. Oh my God. All right, this game's over. I'm going to get out of here. All right, appreciate y'all hanging out. Wasn't sure how many people would be interested in hanging out tonight with the basketball game, but I was going to watch it, so I said, well, if I'm going to watch it, I might as well live stream and talk some football. So appreciate y'all hanging out. I'll be back on live Tuesday night at 9 for the call-in show. So tune in Tuesday night at 9. We'll talk some college football. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Get your week off to a good start tomorrow, and I'll see you Tuesday night at 9 for the call-in show. Have a good